Hello and welcome to the AFL Auto Blends 3D car creation channel. This is the next in the Blender 2.92 tutorial series of a Corvette C6. I was initially going to model a ZR1 because I got the blueprints for that, but then I found out that the blueprints weren't very good at all. Then I sourced some more, which was like screenshots of a completed model but in orthographic view, and they weren't right either. So I ended up with this. I found this online, and you can screen grab this if you wish to use in the series. I then imported it into GIMP as we did in the one of the previous episodes. So I've done that. So once you've done that, you can sort of catch up with me and we'll add in the blueprints to Blender. So straight into Blender. So here we go. We've got a blank. I've showed you what I set up anyway, with Blender kit and add-ons and etc. So here we are. We've got the side view. So what I do straight away basically is to set the dimensions for the car, and how I do that is I get information on the car either from Wikipedia or wherever, just to get the basic dimensions, i.e. the length of the vehicle, the height, the width and the wheelbase. So first off we'll tackle the wheelbase. So what I'll do is press Shift and A and add in a mesh plane. Need to rotate it to get it into that view, so rotate it by 90, go back into side view, and we'll put in the height as 0.1 because we don't need anything, it's just a ruler, and then the wheelbase, if I scroll over to Wiki, is 2.682 meters. So type in 2.682 meters. So that's the wheelbase set. So put the gizmo on. Put the gizmo on to move. So click that. So how I did that was go to there, go to here. That's the gizmo selection, and you can choose whatever you like to do. But I just use the move, which puts arrows on the on what you've selected. So I'll just move that down because we want it down there at the moment. The next thing is to add a cube in to display the physical dimensions of the car. So this is a temporary thing, so put in a mesh cube. Okay, now we want that sitting on the base, so it's 2 by 2, so we'll put in 1 into there, and that sticks it up on the basically what I did was I moved it up by 1. Okay, so put 1 in and it sits it on the baseline. So this is our cube. Make sure all the rotations are at 0. So the width of the car is 1.928, so 1.928. The length of the car, so the y-axis is, for a Z06, is 4.46, and the height is of a Z06 is 1.245, so 1.245 meters. Okay, so that's put that down, so we need that at 1.245 minus 1.245. So let's click on this, minus Right, okay. My maths are terrible, so just move it up so it's sitting roughly on that line. Yeah, that's there, near enough. Okay, so it's 1.245 divided by 2 by the looks of it. Anyway, so that's the physical dimensions of the car. Okay, so we're going to fit our blueprints into there. So let's put it in wireframe mode so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so the first thing to do is to set the side. So I'm going to shift an A. I'm going to go to image, background. I'm going to navigate to where I've put the blueprints. So I've put a little folder called blueprints, and there is the side view there. So click that one and load the background image. Okay, go immediately over here and where are we? Go to this button here, the object data properties. Click the perspective box so you can see, if you scroll around you can still see the blueprint, and we'll click the opacity. We'll put that, I usually put it to 0.3, so that makes it see-through, okay, and takes down the glare. Now it's facing the wrong way, so let's rotate it on the Z by 180. Now we can't see it, so click on back. So click on that and it shoves it in there. Now we've got to, you see our little box up here, so I'm just going to move it up so the wheels are sitting on the base roughly. Scroll up. I mean, this will all change once we start to scale it. So we'll scale it and trying roughly to get the body within the box. So scroll up to have a look, see where we are. I need to move that down, the wheels down to there. So we're nearly there by the looks of it. I think we need to come over a bit here. Let's have a scroll, see where we are. So let's have a look. We're not far off at all there really. So I'm going to scale it up just a little bit. Not that. That. Scale. Hold the shift key for small movements. To about there. Wheels are roughly there. That's almost there. Scale it up just a little bit more, I think. So scale just a little bit more. Okay, bring that up a tad. So the wheels are sitting on the ground. That's near enough. So just move that across a little bit. Again, small movements with the shift key. And there we are. So if we click our box now, the side image is in the box. So what we do now is we call this empty, so make sure you highlight the side view and we'll call it side. So do it in capitals. Call the collection, rename the collection to blueprints. Okay, so we've got blueprints. We don't want that in. Okay, so we took that one out and we took the plane out as well. Okay, so we now don't want to move this, so I usually use this one and this one. So go to that menu and click those, and then you can select on them. So that takes away visibility and that stops you from selecting it. Okay, so that's the side view. So if we go to front view now, so let's hide that as well, so it doesn't mix up the. So press image, background, and we're in front view now, I think. So we'll add in the front image. Immediately go over here, so perspective, click in opacity, type in 0.3. Now we're scaling it down again, so scale it down and down. And I think this is to the body, not to the side of the wing mirrors. Just roughly get it in the center, bring it up, set the wheels on the base there. So we're not far off, so just scale it up a bit more and a bit more. So this looks like it's sitting higher. Yeah, so that's not right at all. So move that down to about there. Okay, so we'll leave that there for now, and we can move that around to tidy it up at our discretion. So click that. We don't want to select that for the moment, so click that one off as well and rename it to front. Now we press 7 for top view, hide visibility of that as well. Shift and A, image, background, and there's the top there. Load it, go across to here, click perspective, click opacity and put that at 0.3. Okay, now we need to rotate that by 90 degrees because we need it facing down, and move it across so it's in the center. Where's the box there? So we need to scale this down a bit. So select it again, scale it down to about there, move it across. It's basically in the middle anyway. So I think we might just have to change the width. It's like this, and then move it down so it's just sitting inside. Click this again to see where we are with it. So scaling looks a bit wrong, so just move it over just slightly. Done it again. So move this over. Slightly. Yeah, this looks like a bit of an issue with the width, because we're almost, we need to just scale it up slightly, don't we? So scale it until it fits in the box. Click on this again We're somewhere near. Okay, I'm reasonably happy with that. So just make sure it's sitting right in the centre, which it isn't quite. So move it across till the line, you can see, is smack in the centre. Okay, so we'll leave that one like that. Just a bit of fine tuning after, you can do that once I've finished. So click out of that, click that, and we'll go into Control 1, which is the rear view. Press Shift and A, image background, and look for the back, which is here. Load. Go across to here, click the perspective box, click the opacity, turn it to 0.3, and let's see where we are. We need to scale that one right in, roughly. Bring it across the center, roughly. Move it up. This is just about sort of jockeying it into position. So what do we need to do? We need to scale that up a bit. So grab that again, scale it up. Look at the sides there. So that's roughly it. Move it up to there. I say there's an issue with the sides, the width. So I'm just going to scale it down so it fits in height wise. And I'm going to check the height, the width of the car. Okay, so that's roughly sitting. If we use the height as a guide, that's the most important thing, I think. So we then click this one and call it back, and move that into, that's in blueprint, so that's empty. So which one's this? So this one's back. Okay, so click selection off of that. This one I need to put back on because we didn't name it. So is that the top? Yes, that's the top view. So click this, type in top, and so we've got back, front, side and top. So now let's put visibility of them all on. Now you can see all our images. So if we go to 1, that's the front. We go to the rear, Control 1. We go to 7 for the top. And we go to 3 for the side. So the car's basically set up. You can move the side in a little bit if you want, just to get it as you want it. So that's basically it. We can hide. I'll put a new collection in called bin, so I don't want to delete these. So I'm going to call the collection bin, B-I-N. And the cube and the plane is in there now, so just hide visibility of it, or deselect it there. Right, we've got to drag them into that. So drag them into bin. Okay, so that's that. Now press N to get rid of the sidebar. Now what I do is I use reference images on the side here. So if you scroll up with until the pointer is in between the two, this and the outliner, so just scroll up there, hold it right at the top, click your left mouse button and drag it. It's sometimes difficult to get hold of. There, that's got it. So drag it across like so. Go up to here and go to image edit, image editor, right, and go open navigate to where the reference images are. So I've got mine here. That's the ZL1. Let's go back to this one. So this one, and any image we want. So I'm going to put this one in for now. So double click, and there's your reference images for when you're modeling. You can just pull this across like so to hide it. If you want another one, which I do, click that and drag that down. So where's this one? Let's have a look. There you go. So go there. So you've got two boxes, and then you can have another image in here, such as this image. So you can look at the car from different views for when we're modeling. Okay. So that's just a little tip for that. Anyway, so we're all ready. So I'm going to save this. Save it as Blueprints B. And if you're following along and modeling, what I'd recommend, what I do when I follow tutorials, is to save things regularly. And if you're doing the blueprints, just call it Blueprints A, B, C, D, E, and just keep going. So you can always, I know there's a backspace, Control Z is backspace on here, but it's always good to have different versions in, and also create a backup collection here. And when you've got so far, and you're changing a panel or whatever you're doing, you don't want to totally lose it. So it's a double safety net really, by just putting something called backup in there, pressing the object and going Shift D to copy it and putting it in there. But I'll show you that as we go. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode, which we'll be starting modeling. Okay, thank you and bye.